Reg, what's going on, brother?
Man, I see y'all had a good guest on, then y'all had a blow-up doll on, and then y'all had that girl looked like she got a blow-up doll. Big old blow-up doll. I wanted to stick a pin in there and see if she flying all over. I was sticking a pin. I said one day somebody gonna stick a pin and she just gonna fly all over the goddamn.
Oh
what the heck going on? So we trying to build a channel over here. Y'all gonna bring nobody's on. What the heck going on around here?
Come on, Reg.
Y'all can't bring everybody to answer the phone.
We'll do better. We'll do better
next time.
We'll do better.
Yeah.
What's going on, brother?
All right. That's all I'm gonna say. Made me out to be the bad guy. Like I'm picking on her. She the one that said everything. She the one talked about her son. I don't pick on kids. But anyway, it's all good.
So listen, brother good man, how you doing? How's the family?
Family good, wife good. We're just about to enjoy our Friday afternoon and go Dodgers.
Yes.
Go Dodgers.
Listen, man, I have to apologize to you because a couple months ago you made a video. You said Puffy gonna get like 50 months. And I say in the comment, there's no way in hell he's gonna get that little month. And listen, Reg, the way you break it down then and today in today's video, dude, I apologize, but you know what? He never wrong. He always right about those.
Yeah.
I don't know why. I just been around law and people, unfortunately, are on both sides of the law for so long. I just see how it goes, man.
No, I think that makes sense. We were talking about that while we were watching you. Actually, it was just you have such a unique viewpoint because you've been on both sides. So I mean, you know how a judge thinks, from both sides.
Yeah.
So the
reason why I said what he said was wrong before is because he said Puff may only get like 6-7 months. I'm like, there's no way, but today, after listening to it again,
how they break
the way he break it down, it makes sense to me now.
It does,
you know what I mean?
It does.
But I think Puff got it easy.
He did.
He got out easy.
Yeah. No, he did.
Oh, well, no, not for what he did. Not for what he got convicted of.
Not for what he got convicted of. Right.
See, y'all got to remember, we put on Diddy what we believe and what the accusations were. We can't do that in America.
Yeah.
We got to go on what we actually convicted of. That's why we innocent until proven guilty in the United States of America.
Yeah.
And we got to stop doing that to people. Diddy was only convicted of prostitution.
True.
How many prostitutes do you know that got 4 years, 5 years?
That's true. That's true. That's very true. Yeah, I mean, we do.
And he didn't profit from it. It wasn't like he was a pimp or anything like that.
Right.
Puffy just is a sick man that had a sick addiction, but who knows? Do we know what Rodney and Melissa do in their bedroom?
You do not.
We don't know.
No.
And some of us may think that's sick. We just heard what did he do, so now we looking at him as sick, which the things that he's doing, he's sick.
Yeah.
But we don't know. We all have things that people may judge or think is sick.
But do you think too the judge also include the Cassie's video?
Oh, he told it.
He did. Yeah, he said that. Yeah, he said it. Yeah, he did say that.
He almost said it.
Yeah.
And that's why whoever leaked the video, I was kind of convinced that it was the prosecution that leaked the video because they knew that was going to prejudice us towards him.
Yeah.
Once that video came out, it was nothing. That's why I keep telling KPD. And I always tell KPD, you can't unring what's out there on tape.
That's true. Yeah.
And if that stuff get admitted in court, or we find out the juries actually watched it, they're not going to be able to say, forget that you said I passed the gun and gave it to my nephew, and when I seen the bullet go through his head, he started breakdancing and blood was shooting out his head. I thought he was dead.
Yeah.
People are not going to forget that.
Yeah. No, that's very true. Yeah.
So, and then, okay, how about the thing like when Puff book a speaking speaking engagement next week. I think that was disrespectful. Like that was dumb. That was really dumb.
It was dumb. Yeah.
I wish they would have addressed that to tell what happened. I hope that this is an overzealous PR person.
Yeah, exactly.
An overzealous kid, but they dropped the ball when they didn't jump on that. As soon as they heard that was said, that the prosecution brought up, somebody was supposed to fall on the sword. His PR person, one of his kids, somebody other than Diddy was supposed to fell on the sword. True or not, if he set it up himself, if he was on the phone talking about it, he was supposed to deny. Just like if Rodney, if Melissa walk in and catch you with another, you supposed to say, who you gonna believe?
Exactly. Exactly.
I did not do it.
It wasn't me, like Shaggy said.
Your eyes is lying,
Right?
girl.
Like Shaggy said, it wasn't me.
Right. Oh my God.
Yeah.
So true.
No,
Yeah.
that's crazy, man.
Yeah,
That-
and I think maybe that has something to do with the sentence too, because I mean, I can't imagine as a judge that I would be not thinking about that as I'm handing you your sentence.
Man,
like,
this cocky?
right,
You
right,
that cocky? Well, you think?
right. You think you're getting out today?
That'll make you get some time. That's just like you go on a date with somebody and you come already ready and got condoms and all of that, and then the girl will say no, even if she wanted to do it, because it's like, oh, you already thought you was going to.
Exactly.
So the judge look at it like, wait a minute, he already thinking he did now.
Right.
I ain't even made my decision yet.
Right. Right.
That's crazy.
Yeah, that is. Yeah.
Yeah. So, but anyway.
Yeah. Speaking of,
I hope that was a mistake. I really don't think Diddy is that dumb or that bold. I just really believe they dropped the ball. Maybe because we was watching it in real time, the attorneys didn't realize how much of an issue that was.
Maybe.
They just heard it
yeah,
before.
but listen, they've been doing good this whole time, and the last day you drop the ball like that on the last second.
Yeah, I mean, I'd be.
Well, it was surprising. It was breaking news when whoever reported it. I don't know if it was the Shade Room or whoever.
It was TMZ to
reported
us,
it.
yeah.
Well, the prosecutor said it. I mean,
Yeah.
So when they found out about it, they didn't play that, and ahead of time. So I don't know how they came out, but as soon as they heard about it, they should have jumped on that and be like, oh no, we messed up. Mr. Combs didn't have no knowledge of this.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, that would have
The
been
judge already
better.
had it made up in his mind. I told y'all July the 9th what the judge was going to do.
You did. Yeah.
That's just that's just about what it should have averaged out to be honest.
I mean, I told Rodney a while ago too. Like, you know, I used to work for children and youth services, and like, you know,
Okay.
so I've testified in front of, you know, judges many times, and they they do some weird stuff sometimes, and I'm like, I just, you know, I don't trust that the judge will give him the sentence that everybody else thinks he should get. Like, I'm just saying, they kind of do what they want to do, and you know, it is what it is. But I didn't trust that he was going to get much more time either. I mean, just yeah.
Well, and a lot of people say, well, the prosecution guy or this and that. The prosecution really wanted 11 years.
Yeah.
So it's not like the judge went with the prosecution.
Yeah, it's only Bob Diddy.
To be honest, they really got some love. Most judges go with the probation report. They call it the PSI report.
Yeah.
Most judges go with that, which was actually 6 to 7 years. So
Yeah.
he did get some love. But let's break it down right quick on y'all show. So, but everybody's still thinking that Diddy is going to be in there for 4 years. It'll be 4 years before they see him. Well, we all know that 4 years is 48 months. You automatically get 85% of that. Now, there's a program. It's either the First Step Act or the Second Chance Act. I forget what it is. When you go to the feds, the only problem is I'm not for sure that they consider the Mann Act a violent crime or a non-violent crime.
It's non-violent crime.
It's a violent or
Non-violent. Yeah.
Non-violent. So,
Yeah.
under the First Step Act, you automatically go to 50% for anyone over the age of 50 years of age. So that right there knocks him down to 25 months. If he don't get in any trouble or anything like that. He got credit for 14 months. So Diddy technically only have 11 months left. And that's not even, so that's 11 months, and that's not even counting any halfway house time he may be eligible for, which is probably about another 3 months, maybe 6 months. So he technically can be out of here and, only go to jail for about 6 to 8 months.
So he could be out by next summer.
Yeah, by April, May. Yeah.
Yeah, and God forbid, well, into a halfway house.
Yeah.
Right.
He still got probation.
Yeah.
Right.
And
Yeah.
all of that,
Yeah.
but he could be in a halfway house in really like about 8 months. I wouldn't be surprised. I don't think he's gonna be in there long enough to qualify. If he would have got a little bit more time, there's a program in there called the RDAP. There's a big YouTube channel that talks about RDAP, and that's for people. That's why they talked a lot. If y'all hear right when the lawyers knew he was about to get convicted, he talked about they started bringing up how Diddy needs help with domestic violence and drugs. They started talking about drugs a lot because that's how you get eligible for this program called the RDAP program. You go and do that. The RDAP program, only certain institutions have it, but it's about a 10-month program where you be in this class and you do a whole bunch of stuff. And they teach you about it's like AA or something in prison. But it gets you a year off and eligible for 6 months of halfway house time, which is big. Halfway house time is a big thing in prison because it's like being in prison, but you technically in a social service or like a group home or something like that. And Diddy time is not going to be as hard as it seems right now. If he goes in there and want to just play ball right.
Yeah.
We could be seeing Diddy on the street in less than a year.
Yeah.
So do you think they're gonna put him in a minimum security prison or like a?
No, well, not a count, but he'll be at a low.
Okay.
The only person in the history that have over 10 years and have over 10 years and in prison for a sex crime. Guess who just broke that rule? Donald Trump for that lady, Maxwell, or what's her name?
Yeah.
She's the only person that ever in the history that's in for a sex crime that's in a prison camp.
Wow.
They don't let persons for sex crimes, domestic violence, or anything like that, or any type of violent crime goes to prison camps.
Okay.
Wow.
But a low is not bad. A low is not bad. That's where they keep generally, they call them chomos in there, which what Diddy is technically in. He's, well, kind of, sort of, but he's in for a sex crime, so they call those chomos in prison. And they don't usually go as low as a low, and and that's where they hide a lot of their informants at lows.
Right.
But they kind of cool because they're 2-man cells, where the camps are like a dormitory.
Okay.
It's like the bunks, you see at the military base and stuff like that, where you have all the bunks, different bunks and stuff. Where most guys want their 2-man cells that they can control. It's just them in their bunkie keeping the room clean. And so that's the only advantage about being at a low and being where Diddy's going to be.
Yeah.
He probably go to this prison called Butner, which I hear somewhere in like North Carolina or somewhere like that. This place in Pensacola, that's pretty cool. There's some decent federal prisons. He's kind of blessed on that part.
Yeah.
But where it's going to be a federal case. He's not going to be at a medium or FDIC, which that's where you don't want to go.
Right.
That's where the big boys at. That's where you don't want to be.
Yeah.
So he'll be okay.
Yeah.
I was surprised to hear that someone made an attempt on his life. Did y'all hear that?
No, I didn't hear that.
No,
Yeah, he said that someone tried to kill him, tried to stab him in prison. I don't know if that was for,
that might be for like a lighter sentence.
Yeah, that's what I think too.
Yeah.
Get him out.
Yeah.
I can't see anybody letting that happen to him.
I can't
But
either.
I try to give him advice and tell him, hey, do 4 years. I mean, get 4 or 5 guys in there and take care of them.
Yeah.
And make sure they got you.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
can't take care of the whole prison, but you can take care of 4 or 5 guys, and you be good.
Yeah.
And that's
Yeah.
what you better do.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, let me ask you this, right? So Puff has money, he has family, he has everything. So do you think he's gonna be okay by the time he come out?
If he gets smart and get up under maybe 4 or 5 guys and not try to take care of a whole prison.
Okay.
Oh, you said when he get out?
Yeah, when they get out, yeah. Now,
He got generation money. He has generation money.
okay, now on the other end, Suge doesn't have much money. He doesn't have.
Suge was broke before he went to prison.
So what kind of life is?
He had a bankruptcy.
What kind of life he's gonna have when he come back to society?
Suge
Yeah.
or did he?
No, Suge.
Suge always called Tina Turner. You remember what Tina Turner said in the movie? She said, "All I want is my name."
Yeah.
But
She did.
she don't have no debts.
Right.
Suge gonna be a 70-year-old man with no debts. Unfortunately, he's telling all his stories right now, and he's killing his credibility on YouTube to get a few bucks, which, I understand. You got people out there you really, really love, and he's looking out for. But Suge is telling stories right now, and he's being exposed, if you really listen to him, for those that are just not groupies, as a liar.
Yeah. Yeah.
If you really just listen to him and you see all the contradictions, Suge is exposing himself as a liar and a hater.
I mean, the last video he had, the last couple of video, he was talking about you, about Snoop. My thing is, okay, when it comes to Snoop, does Suge hate Snoop because like Suge lost Death Row, now Snoop owned Death Row? Snoop has everything Suge wanted to have. Is that why he hates Snoop so much?
That's my opinion. And Snoop did things that were violations, even prior to getting Death Row. There was already that talk about and stuff like that. He got a song calling him a big old whale sitting in cell telling tales. He got a song called Pimp Slap and stuff like that. So he was doing things prior to acquiring or being the front. I don't believe he acquired it, but being the face of this Death Row situation.
Yeah.
So to put that on Snoop, no, but Suge right now is weaponizing the people he talking about. Whack 100, James, Reggie, this guy named K-Dub. Only reason he's mad at K-Dub, that was his homeboy. He talk about K-Dub because he's real cool with Snoop. That's the only reason K-Dub is catching strays. And so Suge right now is just using the YouTube in the name of Tupac to weaponize it against everybody. Look at him talking about Andre Rison on today's video he did today or recently.
I just saw that.
On there. Why pick a fight with Andre Rison? Andre Rison not saying anything. He haven't said anything. And then he had to go and say, so he always Tupac was his homeboy, and he loved the heck out of Left Eye. But then at the end of the story, he's telling everybody how he was fucking Left Eye. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, Suge is different. I mean, I love Suge. I do. I love Suge, but sometimes I wish he would just stop talking for a while.
Yeah.
You know what
I feel like he's just spiraling.
Or just stop making up. He has such a historical, and just like
No, he can't stop.
That Benzino was giving me credit for. It was mainly Suge stuff, right?
Yeah.
And so he's iconic in this music stuff, but he feels as though that he has to downplay everybody because that's just the mentality that he has, and unfortunately, he don't have to do that.
Yeah.
So let me ask you a question, right? Who tell more lies? Is it Suge or Fat Joe?
I did a poll on first. I say, who tell more lies, Fat Joe, Suge Knight, or Kiki D, or Snoop? And by far lately, Fat Joe's still the king of it.
Yeah.
Fat Joe's still the king.
Fat Joe say.
But Suge catching up.
Yeah, lately he has. Geez, yeah. And he's been coming for you. Oh my gosh. Like I was kind of.
But you know what? No, listen. You don't come for Reggie. Okay.
Right?
Okay, listen. I've been watching Reggie for a while. You know how Reggie is. Reggie will tap at you just a little bit.
Right.
And if you take that bait, he go on in you.
Right.
Just leave Reggie alone. Just like.
That's why we reached out to you after we had that interview, because we were like, okay, we really like you. We really want to stay on your side, your good side. Like we didn't. She just did that all on her own.
I tell everybody, get their money. If you got somebody saying something you think is going to help, get it. I have tough skin. I have a wife that loves to get ghetto with me, so I have tough skin. So it don't take too much. It takes a lot to get up under my skin.
Yeah. All right. So listen. Earlier, I had watching some video about bumpers. There was something called roll call you guys did, and we had an idea for our channel. If I can do that with you.
Okay.
All right. So we're gonna say some names, and you're gonna tell us some about them.
All right. Go ahead.
All right. So who's Buntry?
Montreal is a guy that Suge and I and everybody grew up with. Is Mob James' middle brother.
Yeah.
He's a gentleman that was killed in April the 3rd, 2002. He was one of really considered like Suge right-hand guys. He was always with Suge.
Okay.
A good dude, very strong, and Mob James' brother that was always with Suge. A good dude.
All right.
So what about?
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
What about Trayvon?
Trayvon Lane. Trayvon Lane is a younger guy that grew up in the neighborhood with us. He's a guy that was known for allegedly getting or attempting to take his death row chain at the mall. That came up to Tupac and and the entourage and said, "Hey, there's the guy that tried to take my chain." Meaning Orlando Anderson.
Yeah.
And that caused Pac to run over there and go over there and start beating up. That I think later was the cause of Tupac. I wanted to believe Tupac was going to die that day from the Bible that I read. That all that day is written, written in stone for a day to death. Everybody but Hezekiah, who asked for an additional 14 days of life or 15 years of life. That God granted. But I believe the reason that Pac died the way he did was for putting his hands on Orlando Anderson, and Trayvon Lane is known or is considered the person that caused that to happen.
Yeah. So how about Neckbone?
Neckbone was another gentleman that was in that particular entourage set of group. He have 2 kids by the Lady of Rage.
Okay.
But he grew up in our neighborhood, was very, very good at basketball when we was growing up. Big guy, very strong. And he was one of the guys that was with Buntry and Trayvon and Suge and Tupac at the incident at the MGM. And a good dude, very quiet. Like I said, very strong and was a part of the entourage.
Okay.
And what about Heron?
Heron, Goldie Low, somebody that you don't leave your girl around.
Stay away from him.
Don't leave your girl around. He was one of those guys that was very charismatic. He's the guy that y'all will see in the white Peter shirt with the death row chain on that was talking about, Suge. If it wasn't for Suge and death row, they probably wouldn't have no jobs or anything like that. He's real instrumental. He had a nice video that was that floated around on YouTube that was played and shown a lot. But But Heron was a good dude. Just one of the homies, and unfortunately, he's no longer with us anymore. He got killed as well, but a good dude. We called him Goldie.
How did he die?
He died. There was some internal drama going on between the guys from Lewis Park and the Mile Pyru area, and it's allegedly that one of the guys from Lewis Park and they killed them behind some drama that was going on behind a car.
Okay. And how about Big Rock? Big Rock got knocked.
Big Rock got knocked. He's a guy from Emily. He just died within the last year. Good dude, little short guy, but he was very strong. But he was actually from another Pyru set that's very close to Luders and Mob area, but called Elm Street or Elm Lane Pyrus. And good dude, but no longer with us as well.
Okay.
And Mob James.
Our next guest.
James is someone that came and been considered a good one of my closest friends currently today. Just a good dude that's that's changed tremendously from what he was to where he's at today. I almost want to call him a brother. He's that good of a dude to me right now and currently, and a voice of reasoning, always calming me down and speaking wisdom like a big brother to me.
That's awesome.
So that's James.
Okay, so what is channel's name? Is it Mobbing with James McDowell?
James McDonald.
Okay, yes. So I'm gonna put the link there so people can go to his channel. Yeah. So
Mobbing with James McDonald.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. So the next one, he was a singer. How about Danny Boy?
Danny Boy was a singer that was around us from Chicago, and he's now doing cooking and soul food and making. He got a restaurant in Chicago right now, and he's a young man that was unfortunately didn't get his break just because of timing and what happened to Death Row that I think would be a star like Casey or maybe a Chris Brown or a Genuine or somebody like that if he would have got his opportunity. But unfortunately, we know him. He's a household name.
Yeah.
We just wasn't able to get those hits that's from him, and just because of timing. He's just a young man that had bad timing. Yeah, it's never too late, right?
Yeah. Nah, he was a good kid, man.
So what about Lips?
Who?
Lips?
Lip Dog.
Yeah, Lip Dog.
Oh, Lip Dog. Lip Dog is a dude that's I think he's played both sides among the guys in the neighborhood, but not a buster by no means, but did buster things.
Okay.
Cool. And then last but not least, Timmy Wu.
Timmy Wu?
Yeah.
Timmy Wu is a spoiled little brat that, he had two older brothers that were legends in the neighborhood, and now you want to try to live off of their reputation and just misguided. Good dude, really at heart, but he just spoiled. You had that little brother, that little one that you just want to say, shut up and be quiet and sit over there in the corner. That's Timmy Wu.
Okay, cool.
I got one more. Tell us a little bit about John.
John is a gentleman that's was ahead of the game when it comes to websites and even before MySpace and all of that. He just was a guy that was very ahead of the game when it comes to technology and the stuff with computers, and very loyal, but just loves the hell out of music and knows a lot about especially Death Row music and Tupac music and stuff. You got to drag it out of him, but if you really sit down and pull it up and bring something up or show him something, he can tell you about it and be like, oh yeah, I seen that years ago. he was just in that community of music and death row and stuff. But unfortunately, and I get disappointed and mad at him all the time because he just hold the knowledge in, and he'll act like he didn't know it until you call him on it, and then he'll speak on it and tell you A through Z about that subject.
Wow.
So how did you guys start Bomb First?
Well, he actually started Bomb First. I didn't get associated as I did in Bomb First until about 2018, doing live streams and stuff like that. Then started coming on camera until about 2022, 2023. And so, but him and a guy by the name of Risky started Bomb First, and they were just telling death row stories and putting up old footage and stuff that they had accumulated from death row while they were working there, and it was trying to keep the name of Tupac and death row alive. And they started that in about 2013, 2014. Like I said, being ahead of the game of all of this stuff, this YouTube stuff and MySpace and websites and stuff like that.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, Risky is the guy that did Mahogany.
Artwork.
Yeah, Mahogany Artwork.
Yeah, okay.
Good dude. If you ever want to do an interview with me, let me know. I'll set it up.
I'll reach out to him, but he never replied on Instagram. So if you can, then I'll be appreciated.
Well, that's why you got to talk to the right people.
Yes,
Yeah,
sir.
yeah.
Not what you know is who you know.
Right?
That's true. That's true. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So, how did you guys welcome Suge back home after he got out of prison in 2001?
You saw it. I filmed it. That was me in the car giving him all that jewelry, picking him up in the prison and taking him to a hamburger stand and flying a private plane in to pick him up and all of that. Taking him straight to the office and he having this office meeting. It's all on camera and it's all footage of it out there.
Yeah.
And so, he came home debt free, no bills, no lawsuits and everything. Came home and fucked it up.
I know. Always.
Came home and in 2 years fucked it all up. Lost it in 5.
Yeah. So listen. So speaking of 2001, we spoke with Tasha Stanley. She's George Stanley's daughter, and she was telling us about the DA that colluded with Suge. Did you know anything about that?
Well, the DA, what all happened is, you're talking about Longo.
Yeah.
And so the DA, they gave him probation, but it wasn't like they gave him a great deal. I mean, the Stanley brothers ain't no angels. Like, I didn't listen to her interview, but I can imagine how she believed. The Stanley brothers, what happened on that situation was they were in the studio and nobody knew who Suge was. Suge was just always the guy that, they thought like a big muscle guy or a big security guy or whatever. So he walked in the studio, but there was a guy, back then, business phones and cell phones was outrageous.
Yeah.
It was crazy in the late 80s, early 90s to be on phones, Phones were expensive. And so he would, but guys would want to come up to the studio and be sitting on the phones all day and stuff like that. And you get the phone bills, people, the studio owners was complaining about the bill. It probably was 35 cents a minute or whatever back then.
Right.
To use a business phone. And so Suge walked in and he was just like, hey, get off the phone. Get off the phone. They looked at him like shit. Everybody doesn't know who back then. Dr. Dre. They don't know no Suge Knight.
Yeah.
And they think they Stanley Brothers, tough guy from New York, like shit, this Dre shit. Is what they thinking in their head.
Right.
He'll go back in his office and he look up on the phone. He had just came from court from something else. And he looked, had his suit on and stuff. And so he looked at on the cameras and he said he saw him still on the phone. But now he mad. Hey, didn't I tell you, get off the phone? Nigga, F you. Who are you?
Right. Right.
So I guess Mr. Knight had to show him who he was.
Yeah.
And so that's what happened on that. You said the Stanley Brothers, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. And so they showed them who they were, that what's happened to them, and you know, they got stripped down and busted upside the head, and the only reason that it went off because the gun went off, and they found the bullet in there, or like they tried to make it like he shot at him or something. Well, he always just told me he just busted him upside the head and the gun went off.
Yeah.
And so, but he stripped them down, embarrassed them. He got a thing with peeing on people and stripping them down for some reason.
R. Kelly. So did Suge promise Longo to hire his daughter?
So that came on later. So you know how you develop relationships and stuff like that. And so he had a daughter. Her name was Gina Longo, and he never signed her. You know, I heard somebody say that like he signed her. He gave her what they call an artist development deal, where he just gave her some studio time, hired a studio coach for her, and tried to, was going to see what he could do with her as an artist. You know, your daughter have a dream, and you have a connection, and you try to put that connection in play. But it was nothing that was ever serious. You know, if it worked out, it worked. If it didn't, it didn't. But, you know, they gave her opportunity.
Yeah.
Now, where he messed up at, and all of this happened in like, 93 or 94 when all this got settled? He did rent a house from him in Malibu. That was nice. I mean, that's where he wanted to stay. It wasn't like it was a nice spot in Malibu for like $20,000 or $25,000 a month. And it was like a family home. And so it looked bad, but it was really something Suge wanted. He always loved water, and he would have probably eventually did it. It just so happened it was the DA that was supervising your case that
looks bad.
It looked like a bribe, but actually what it was David Kenner and Longo were good friends. They worked in the DA office together.
Okay.
And Johnny Cochran, all three of them.
Right.
They worked in the 70s.
Okay.
Yeah.
And just, I mean, Tosh was really honest about her dad. I mean, she doesn't have a great relationship with him, so she was very honest about what kind of person he was, you know, in that whole situation. So
we love her.
She's a really good person.
Yeah, she's a good kid. I love her.
Yeah. But you know, in my whole thing, it was just an unfortunate situation where like Suge was just going down there beating up people in the studio and stuff. It was just like he felt disrespected. Yeah. And a lot of it, and the only reason they probably did that was because they didn't know who Suge was.
And that's exactly what she said. Yeah. I mean, you know, Dr. Dre had invited them down, and you know, they didn't really, you know, they were there with they were there with Dre, so they didn't really, they didn't know who Suge was. They didn't really know anything about that. So yeah.
Okay, speaking of Suge, right? You took your glove off a couple weeks ago. You say Suge has a Mexican lover. Is that true? Or you just like bullshit?
I didn't say, I said, I don't know that. I'm not in there. I said a guy told us that knew a guard that worked in there.
Okay. Because I'm like, I don't know if...
I don't know. Suge is crashing out, so I don't know. There could be...
But 10 years is 10 years, you know. Well, he wouldn't be the first, right?
He would not be the first. Yeah. He would not be the first.
Yeah, I mean, I get that part. I'm
just saying, I worked in a prison for like 6 months. That's about all I could take. And there's stuff that happens in the prisons that just,
It wouldn't be the first.
It would not.
Suge?
I would hope not, but
it wouldn't be the first.
But maybe. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Speaking of crashing out, man, have you seen Dame Dash crashing out lately?
Who?
Dame Dash.
Yeah. Dame is just y'all gotta understand it's hard when you were the decision maker. You gotta look at everybody that was around Dame Dash. Mm-hmm. Look at everybody that was associated with Dame Dash. and look how good they doing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We talking about Kanye,
You got Jay-Z, Cameron,
Jay-Z.
the other guy that was on Rockefeller with him. There was the other guy. This
Everybody, they all doing well.
Yeah.
Now, granted, Dame Dash have a nice property and nice stuff. People file bankruptcy and reorganize. And if you're able to hold on to stuff, it's fine. I just don't see nothing that Dame Dash got working to be able to regroup. And that's all. That's all I can say about it. But
it's not so much the money.
People gotta learn how to humble themselves.
Yeah.
People like Dame Dash and Suge Knight, they have helped a lot of people. But if you, instead of getting on there and talking shit about them, and go and, you don't think Dr. Dre or Jimmy Iovine would love to help Suge Knight if he humbled himself and apologized to them and all that?
He would never do that.
$10 million to them is nothing for them to reach back and say, here, Suge, take it and invest this. Go do the movie on this. Go do this.
Yeah.
But they all they want to do is to be respected, you know?
Right.
A public apology.
Yeah.
And sometimes you just got to do that and humble yourself. And so that's all I would suggest that maybe a Dame Dash or Suge Knight would do to these people. Because I'm sure Jay-Z, you know, you get disappointed and mad at people. But when they understand, then they think about all the good things that you've done with each other or for each other.
Yeah.
And to people that have $100 million, $10 million is nothing.
Yeah.
Especially to say, all right, we did do this together. We did do that together.
So if you ever talk to Suge, would you ask him to humble himself?
I mean, that's not in his nature. I thought he would have been humble by now, 10 years in. But listening to him, I used to be on the phone with him for daily. That's just not in him yet.
Yeah.
It's just not in him yet. He hasn't felt enough.
Yeah, but how long is it going to take?
To be at that point, it's just not in him.
Do you think that everybody's rock bottom is a little bit different. Do you think maybe he just hasn't hit his yet? I mean, he thinks that there's still...
How much more can you go?
I'm just saying, though, but everybody's is different, though. I mean,
he lost everything. Even his weight has gone down. Like, he lost everything.
I know.
Yeah. I get tired of bashing him, so I try not to.
Yeah.
But that's all I would just say. I mean, there's people that probably say I need to humble myself too, and all of that.
Nah, you're doing good, man.
But I'm not in a position, or I didn't do the things or make the type of money, you know, that he made with these people. And I'm just saying, I believe a Snoop, a Dre, a Jimmy Iovine, if Suge said the right things, would love to reach back and help him. Just as I do believe Jay-Z would do. And I never met Jay-Z before in my life. Know nothing about him. But from what I see and what I know of rich people, they generally would love to be able to say, all right, nigga, here.
Yeah, especially that you know, someone that you had that close of a connection to. I mean, you know.
There's only usually two things that you can't do it. You mess with their girl or their kids.
That's true.
That's true.